If you have Solitaire on the desktop, the game that is, then you could just double click to open the program. I don't have it here, so if I go to the Start menu, and if it is in the Start menu, then you can just single click on the icon and it will open the program. If it's not there, we'd say All Programs, and by default it will be in the Games folder, and then again single click on Solitaire and that will open the program. First thing the game will do is set out a set of cards. What you can do is change the game options. So if we go to Game and Options, F5 is the shortcut key, and you see we can have it drawing one card or drawing 3 cards from the deck, and you can have the scoring set to no scoring, so you're only playing for fun and enjoyment. Standard scoring, where you can build up a score every time you put a card up in the empty piles. You can also have Vegas scoring, where you're playing for imaginary pounds. Personally, I prefer to play with drawing 3 cards, Vegas scoring, and a cumulative score, so as you play consecutive games it builds up your winnings, or in my case your losses. You can also have a timed game, which means that you're playing against the clock. To make changes, all you'd have to do, the circular buttons are called radio buttons, so all you'd have to do is click in the one that you select. With the boxes, they're check boxes, so again you'd either click to check the box or click to uncheck. And do remember, when I say click, I do mean the left mouse button single click. Once you're happy with the options, if we click OK, and then we've got the game. The idea of Solitaire is to bring each of the sets or suits of cards up into these 4 areas, and this is going to be a cumulative run of cards from ace to king in one suit. Have to start with the ace and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and so on, and it has to be in the same suit for each of these piles. The cards on the tabletop are the cards in play, and the idea, like I say, is to get them up into that space. In order to bring cards into play that are face down on the tabletop, we build up stacks of cards, again in numerical order, but in this case they have to be in opposite colours. If I tried to put the ace of hearts onto the 2 of hearts, I'm told it's an invalid move because they're the same colour. I could put the ace of hearts onto the 2 of clubs, and it's a valid move because they're opposite colours. As soon as I've moved a card, you see the jack of spades has come into play, so I can continue the game on. Once you have an ace, you can position it up in the piles up here. So to move cards, it's pressing and holding the left mouse button when you have the mouse cursor over the card, pressing and holding, and just dragging and dropping. A second way to get cards up into this area here is to just double click, as this nice little helpful hint is telling me down here. So I've got the ace of hearts, the next card would be the 2 of hearts, which is down here, so I could either drag and drop it, or I could just double click, and that puts it up into the pile. So I'm just going to run through the cards on the tabletop. And I can't do anything else, so what I can do now is go for the deck and bring these cards into play. Because I'm playing 3-card draw, I get 3 cards drawn per click of the deck, but the topmost card is the only one that's playable. This is an interesting situation I've got here. I've got the 2 of hearts already excuse me, in the pile, so I could put the 3 of hearts on top of the 2. I can also bring it down onto the 4 of clubs, and that means I can bring the 2 of clubs on top of the 3, bringing this next card into play. And like I say, when you've got nothing else that you can do, we can just continue on with the deck, clicking through the deck to find cards or active moves that we can play. Once you've run through the deck, if you just click on this clear area, it will reset the deck and bring it back into play. Because I'm playing Vegas rules, I've only got 3 turns of the deck, so this is my last turn, and there's not much I can do to win. So I've just lost. But what you can do is undo through the game moves that you've played. If I say game and undo, the shortcut keys are Control and Z. And you can't just undo the previous move, you can undo everything. So if I just press and hold Control Z on the keyboard, it will run through everything I've done. You can go back to the very start of the game. Unfortunately, it is exactly the same game that you're playing, so it may be that you really just can't win. So I get the feeling I can't win this game, so what you can do is say game and new game. F2 is the shortcut key for this. And because I've still got a game in play, it asks me if I want to quit and start again, or restart this game. I know I can't win this one, and I'm pretty sure I can't win, so I'm going to quit and start again, and it will draw, deal a fresh set of cards. And again, it's just a process of working through playable actions until you've built up all of the cards in the numerical sequence in the same suit in these 4 areas. Now that I have an empty space, I cannot put a card on there other than a king. So if I drag the king down, I wouldn't be able to put any lower numbered card in an empty space. If the king is the lowest, the bottom card of a stack, then again you can just drag it all over on top of that empty space. Again, to move cards, it's pressing and holding the left mouse button and dragging and dropping. No. So once you've failed to win, as I've done here, or once you have completed the game, if you have completed, you'll get a nice little firework display, and then you'll be asked if you want to quit the game or continue. In this instance, I'm going to stop playing, because it's getting annoying now that I keep losing. So you can either click on the red cross to stop the game, to close the program, or we can say game and exit. You'll be asked, if you're in the middle of a game, you'll be asked if you want to save the game in progress. Do be aware that it would save the game in this situation where there are no more playable moves. So if I say don't save, and that will finish the game. So that's playing Solitaire.